Thank you very much for joining me on this Friday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I want to get right to it. By the way, a ton of new subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe. This weather community, it's for you. All right, let's get right to it. Enough of that. All right, we get a look at this huge system sweeping by. Now, this system here is going to impact the Caribbean. The winds are going to change. Some spots are going to get rain. I'm going to break that down, and much cooler nights for some of us in the Caribbean. So in this video, I'm going to break all of that down. We're going to dive down here, but I want to show you the big picture of what's going on. Another system rolling into the Pacific Northwest and the western United States. I'll keep an eye on that. But look at this massive system here. This is the same system that brought the severe weather, unfortunately, to parts of the southeastern United States. This is one of the systems that rolled into California, and they are so big, so those fronts stretch all the way down into the Gulf, into the Caribbean. Look at this, stretching back to my friends in eastern Canada, all the way down through Mexico, into Mexico, stretching into Belize. This front, this whole storm system with the front is over 4,000 kilometers in length, over 2,500 miles in length. So this is a massive system, and with that, that allows that colder weather to plunge more to the south. Now, this is all relatively speaking. Of course, in the Caribbean, cold is a little bit cool, but we're going to feel the difference. We already have in some spots. So this is the cold air here in this kind of magenta shading, or whatever you want to call it. We have the winds out ahead of this coming in out of the east and southeast, even southwest at a time today. But this is what's happening through the day today, into tonight, into tomorrow. That cold air plunges down, and those winds are going to come down out of the north. And yeah, that means especially at night, we get the cooler nights. I'll break down some forecast in particular just ahead. Plus, I want to get to the model. So let's get to that and what we could expect. These are the winds. Now, these arrows on here, they're a little bit small, so I'll draw on some bigger ones. But here we are at Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. Get toward Roatan, over toward Honduras, Belize City. There are the winds. This is today, 4 o'clock. Here's Jamaica, for example. North side, the wind's starting to turn out of the northwest. Watching that over toward Montego Bay. Winds elsewhere out of the east, Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, Martinique, Trinidad and Tobago. Now, as we go out in time, things are going to change, but the winds today start to come out of the north as far south as parts of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Cuba, those strong northerly winds. In the Bahamas, we have some rain passing by today. Always thinking about the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Look at this. This is by the time we get into Sunday morning, the wind's still out of the north over toward Honduras. Belize, a northeasterly wind. Haiti, Cayman Islands, over toward Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Croix, St. John. Winds right on the edge of being out of the north. Now, it's not for all of us. You know how this goes. These fronts do wash out. They do weaken. So Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, over toward Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, we're going to still have those winds mainly out of the east, and then generally to the south as well. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, those winds, they're going to be out of the east. So it's not for all of us, but this is a pretty big plunge. You see it here of winds coming down out of the north. So I'll get into those forecasts ahead. All right, let's take a look at this. Here's the model. Now, the green on the map, that's the rain. So watching some rain over toward Panama, Guyana, and Suriname, which I'll talk about in a second. But do you see this thin line here? That is the front this afternoon. Moving into the Bahamas, some rain. You see the rain down here, Panama ahead of the front. But the Belize rain today, we're going to have a few scattered showers. That's with that front nudging in. And yeah, Guyana and Suriname, not for all of us, but we're still going to have that higher chance of rain. So the spots that have had flooding, if you get some rain today, we could have some repeat areas of flooding. Now, looking forward, so here's Trinidad and Tobago. We are back to the west here over toward Jamaica. This thin line here, you see that green there stretching back toward Nicaragua, Costa Rica. That is the front moving through the southern Bahamas and Turks and Caicos tomorrow afternoon. That's how far south this front gets. With it, the spotty shower. So you see over toward the Dominican Republic, we could get a hit or miss shower, and you see a few here near Belize, in Honduras, Cayman Islands, spotty shower tomorrow. Jamaica, Cuba, the same thing. Even inland Guatemala and El Salvador, watching Mexico for some showers. Now, getting into Sunday, you see the front here. This is the front, that thin line right there. The front moves into Puerto Rico on Sunday. It moves into Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, But at this point, yeah, it's going to weaken some. South of there, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, so Port of Spain, the winds are generally still out of the east. But behind the front, Haiti, you get toward Port-au-Prince, Jacmel, we're going to have those winds coming down out of the northwest. So yeah, those nights are going to be cooler. You'll feel that change. But watch out for that better chance of rain Sunday in Puerto Rico. Spotty showers as we get over toward Antigua and Barbuda. And you see the scattered showers elsewhere. Still watching out for some rain, Guyana and Suriname. Not as much, though, as we get over toward Barbados as we move forward. So breaking down the front, once again, let's break down this winter front. Here we go. In Belize. Now, today the winds are out of the east, but through the day, they're going to turn out of the north, and then we'll have that northerly flow as we get into the weekend. So today, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 28 degrees Celsius. Now, Saturday, tomorrow, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, about 25 degrees Celsius. That's a big difference. And at night this weekend, especially tomorrow night and Sunday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we are in the 60s, which is about 19 degrees Celsius. You will feel that difference. We've got the changes moving in with those winds. Jamaica, today, winds are out of the south, ahead of the front, but I showed you that thin line moving in. That front will move in. So today, about 85 degrees for my friends in Jamaica, 29 degrees Celsius. Sunday, 81 degrees. Yeah, makes a difference. 27 degrees Celsius because the winds on Sunday behind the front, they'll be out of the north and then eventually out of the northeast. And Sunday night, that looks to be the coolest. Saturday night will be cooler too. But Sunday night, down to 66 degrees as you get toward Treasure Beach. 18.9 degrees Celsius as you get into Falmouth, so it is going to be cooler at night. Leave those comments and let me know what's going on where you are. Now, I mentioned south of the front. We get back toward Trinidad and Tobago this weekend. We're going to stay warm around 30 degrees Celsius. We could get a passing shower. The rain chance isn't too high. We'll have a few showers around in Trinidad and Tobago. But again, the rain chance will be higher to the south, over toward Guyana and Suriname, higher well to the north up toward Puerto Rico. So about a 20 to 30% chance of a quick shower. Also watching those areas of some of that dust. Winds east-southeast at 32 kilometers an hour. So still that easterly flow with that front being mainly to the north. So the timeline on this winter front for us, it enters the northern Caribbean today. We've got those cooler nights on the way. Just spell that out best I could for you. Tracking those showers with the front. I mentioned down the road, Puerto Rico has a better chance of showers. We'll see some spotty showers in Belize with that front moving by. The southern Caribbean, like I showed you, staying warm. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, yeah, the front kind of clips us by to the north. Not a huge change, but there'll be some subtle changes as we go through the weekend, especially on Sunday. Still wet in Guyana and Suriname. And what I'm watching next is that next system rolling into California. Again, that parade of systems continues, so that'll sweep more fronts our way. It's going to be really interesting January weather-wise. I love weather, love covering it, no matter what's going on with the weather. So it's really interesting to see how those fronts tie into our weather across the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, back toward the Bahamas. Bermuda, by the way, we're going to see some showers with this front clearing the eastern seaboard of the United States. So I'll keep you posted. Leave those comments. Thank you for being part of this weather community. I love doing it with you. Hope you have a great day and a great weekend. I'll see you soon.